Hi, it's Matt with Get To It Outdoors. Today I'm going to give my review of this Clam Shuttle, shuttle bag, and forward-facing sonar pole. This is not sponsored. This is an honest review. I paid my own money for these materials. Reason I paid for this is, if you guys know and seen some of my previous channels, I'm a bit of a hillbilly. So I mounted my expensive Livescope system to a cooler. I'll put a little video in here to kind of show. I took that ice fishing, took it on my boat, took it on my kayak. The idea of it was to have it portable instead of permanently mounted to my boat because I wanted to be able to do all these things. Well, now I want to kind of upgrade a little bit, and that's why I went with Clam. Clam released this in 2024, and here's my review. All right, let's start this review off by let's talking about the shuttle, the meat and potatoes of the whole thing. Come on in. Okay, so I did set my Garmin up on this already. As you can tell, I've got the Garmin 7.3 SV touchscreen. It has the black box mounted to the back of this cradle handle here. All the extra wire goes around the handle and around the black box. I wanted to keep it in place with these ties. Keeps it a little nice and organized. And we'll go back around to the front here. Okay, so right here is a charging point for your standard charging plug that's very typical. However, my charger that I had didn't fit this because I didn't have a typical one. But I had a lead width. And so I just fed it up through here, and this is how I charge it. Not a big deal at all. So if you got that charger, easy, already integrated. It's already there. You have a cigarette lighter 12-volt option here to run accessories on. Here's your power button. It's got a clear window to protect it. Turn it on. Turns on all the accessories. There's a voltmeter here. And two USBs. You turn the voltmeter on and the USBs by the little button right there. Okay. I'll show you in a little bit though, once it's in the bag. Even though the Clam Shuttle is designed for the bag, these aren't very accessible. I'll show you that in a second. Okay. The head unit's mounted on the platform of the box here. It's got a little raised flanges that come up, and then you just bolt it down. The back side allows you a little bit of access to the wires, or to the battery. Now, if you notice, this is metal, there's aluminum. I took foam and put it between the battery and the wall here so the battery doesn't move around, and there's foam over here. The battery's not moving at all, but that's going to keep this positive post from hitting this aluminum. So I did that as a precaution. Okay, the size of the battery that I have in there is a 25 amp hour lithium battery. It measures 7-inch by 7-inch by 3 inches. I wouldn't put anything any larger in there, to be honest with you, because you can see how much it fills in that battery cavity. And then you have the components on the other side of this wall that doesn't allow it to be much bigger. So if you're looking to get a battery for this, 7 by 7 by 3 seems to be the perfect size. I wouldn't go any bigger. Okay, next I want to cover is the pole. The Livescope pole. Obviously, I've got my transducer already mounted to it. In order to mount it, I had to use just a piece of water hose about that big, and I cut it to where it opens, and I just put it in there because this clamp for the trolling motor is a little too big. But once I put that hose piece in there, I'll get a better look here. It fits pretty snug. Okay, let's see if we can get that in focus. Yeah, you can see the hose. It was a clear water hose, but you can use green or whatever you want to use. Okay. Okay, so like I said, I've already got the transducer mounted to it. The way it comes is it has an extension pole and this is all assembled already. You have your ice fishing like hole where it mounts it on the hole here, and it can fit up to a 13-inch hole and be able to sit on top still. So that was pretty nice. You need somewhat of a larger hole for the transducer anyways, so, but you don't need 13 inches. The one thing that I noticed on when I was looking into before I bought this is it says it has a ball bearing setup, which allows, as it says it, which allows this to turn. So as you turn this, the whole pole rotates within this collar. And the bottom, if you can see, is where the ball bearing is. Now I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Seems to work pretty seamlessly. I've had it out quite a few times now, and as you can see, it rotates out there on the ice, no problem. I had wonders if being out in frigid ice weather would affect that, but it didn't, so it worked pretty well. All right, also comes with this Allen wrench. Built in underneath the handle is the Allen wrench holder. There's two little clips here and here. However, it doesn't hang on to the Allen wrench all too well. I'll show you what I do with that in a moment. So, as it comes assembled like this. When you mount your transducer, you want to make sure that the arrow's facing the direction that your transducer is before you tighten it down, of course. Nothing new that nobody doesn't know. There's for a quick disconnect. It's got this pin here, and you can pull your transducer head off if you want. That's also how you connect your extension pole the same way. Okay, so go ahead and throw this back on. Now from tip to tip on this, the smallest it will go is 30 inches. So I measured it from here to here. Now it's about 28 and a half for the pole, but with the transducer sticking out, it's 30 inches. And then you can extend it without putting this on yet by releasing this collar and then pulling it. And I don't want to pull it out, so I'm going to kind of pull it. Okay, so I think I'm at the end there. Let's see how. Tighten her down. See how long she is, like this. So now we're at 46 inches. And then the extension adds another 25 inches on top of that. So you're roughly looking at 70 inches total, if I did the math right. Okay, some of the downsides of it, I guess, which is going to be with any pole, would be that once it's in the water, you got this tension of this cord. So if you go to rotate it, the cord naturally wants to make it spin to its resting position. Well, one thing that Clam did was make this hinged handle. So you would have to raise this collar up using that Allen wrench into the keyhole right here, loosen it up, and you're able to slide this to whatever size or depth you need it to be. But you want it at least as deep so that you can set this on the ice or into the snow and it will hold it in that position. So that's one thing I had to learn about it. If I had to say a complaint about it, is it holds water. When you're pulling it out of the hole, it holds water, which is not a big deal. You just got to hold it there and let it drain instead of just immediately throwing it into your sled. Otherwise, you're just putting a bunch of water in your sled, which leads to ice in your sled. All right, so then I wanted the bag too to make it all a complete set. On the sides of the bag, you have these little pockets here. You can use it to, if you want to detach your transducer and put it in there. It is a tight fit, but you can make it work. Same thing on the other side. With these pockets, this is where I store the Allen wrench on this side. And the other side, you can put some tackle in there or whatever, but for a trip, if I'm going on a trip, this is where my charger goes, in this side. You have a name tag, the spot up on top here. You got the handle here. It does come with a larger strap over the shoulder strap. It does come with that, so if you wanted to carry it around like that. This is a viewing window option, just in case it's snowing and blowing. It doesn't quite match up with my unit. I'll put my Garmin and everything in here next to show you the rest of it. All right, I got my Garmin in here now. I'm going to show you how it fits. Remember, I said how the window doesn't quite line up with the screen as good. It's not too bad, but the screen still comes up all the way up to here. So it's not a perfect fit, but it would work. Then what you would do when you carry it out to where you want to go, you just unzip on both sides, all the way back. Stop the zipper, stop right here. Take this, put it underneath your carrying your handle here, and that exposes everything. One thing you want to see, remember I mentioned the lower accessories on this shuttle are blocked by the bag. So you can get to your power button and you can get to the charging port fairly easy. But if you wanted anything else, you would have to kind of stretch the fabric around and try to get to it. Go ahead and turn that off. Now, easy access to the back, so you don't have to take it out of the bag. There's a zipper right here. And there you have access to your battery if you need it. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention is this this ring here, whatever you want to call it, can be removed by undoing this and pulling the pipe through, and then this will just, after loosening the Allen wrench, slide off. Should you want to try mounting it to your kayak or your boat. Now with my complete setup, mine weighs 22.5 pounds in the bag, and that's with the Garmin 7.3 SV, the black box, and the battery, the 25 amp hour lithium battery. So it can be a little heavy and more tedious than what you would want to carry around compared to a flasher. But what I do is I have the main unit, the shuttle, and my sled. And I pull the sled around and I'll drill a hole and then I'll put the transducer in. And it's more movable, transportable that way. Now let's talk price point. It's pretty comparable to the other ones. There are some that are more. Clam actually comes towards the bottom, more budget friendly than the others, give or take $20 here or there. So Clam, what I ended up paying was a total of $363.77. It was $133 for the pole, $150 for the shuttle, and $80 for the bag. But you look at Summit total is $400 or $370. They got a sale going on right now. So it was $65 for the bag, $219 for the shuttle, or $180 because it's on sale right now, and then $120 for the pole. One of the ridiculous ones is HD. Now, I mean, they all do the same thing. I mean, they got different variations of buttons and stuff that's on their shuttle, but they all do the same thing. So, but HD has $240 for their shuttle, 140 for the pole and 65 for the bag, coming out to be $445. So almost $100 more than Clam. And some, again, is about $20 to $40 more than Clam. So comparable. It's probably the best, budget friendly. I have no complaints other than the water in the tube, but you just hold it above the, pull it out, hold it out for a little bit before you put it in your sled and you're good to go. I hope I answered everybody's questions if you had any. And again, this video was not sponsored. I bought this with my own money and I wanted an honest review. And I had questions that weren't answered by other reviews, so I wanted to make sure those were covered. Thanks again. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you later.